Okay. Happy morning, masters. I request everyone to switch on your cameras as the wisdom sharing session is going to begin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We are on day 25 of this meditation challenge. Successfully, we have completed 24 days of this meditation challenge. And how was the journey? How did you all feel? How was the meditation session today? And was it really transformative? Do let me know your thoughts on this meditation session, wisdom sharing session, and did you observe any changes in your life, or did the perspective shift happen in your life? Because this 30 days program is not just about meditating and leaving, it is about implementing the teachings that are being taught in this wisdom sharing session. Because if you implement all the topics that are being covered in this session, it is definitely going to be a transformative thing in your life, isn't it? And yesterday, our dear host Harshita has also given a beautiful challenge. How was the challenge? Did you all enjoy doing it? Did you all try at least? Because she had mentioned different kind of solutions that you can use for natural cleaning in your house. Generally, we invest a lot of money for buying different kind of products that are available in the market, isn't it? For cleaning glass or for cleaning tiles, we use different solutions. But we have a history of ancient, recipes or solutions that people used to do. But since in this timeline, at this time period, we are generally buying a lot of products that are available outside, which has a lot of chemicals. Instead of that, you can prepare a lot of solutions at your house only, right? She had mentioned a beautiful solution, which I would like to mention again, which can be used in your daily life, in your, for cleaning glasses and tiles, which is also useful for all the other surfaces as well. She had mentioned white vinegar with water, and you can also add a drop of essential oil or lemon or anything that you like, so that it will give you a beautiful fragrance. And this is a beautiful solution that you can use in your households. And there are also other solutions that are mentioned in the chat as well. If you want to prepare, then you can visit the WhatsApp chat group, in which I daily send different kind of challenges that I already mentioned in the session as well. So now let us get into the wisdom sharing session. Today we have Yashwanth with us. He is from Hyderabad itself, and he brings a diverse blend of experiences and passions to our session today. So he's a graduate engineer from MVSR Engineering College. Currently, he serves as the managing partner at PV Enterprises, a legacy passed down from his father. Specializing in machine tools and accessories, PV Enterprises stands as a cornerstone in the realm of core mechanical engineering. Beyond the realms of business, Yashwanth's diverse interests range from technology to chess, and he is always on the lookout for travel hacks. However, it's his deep love for animals and nature that truly defines him, and photography has become his passion as he captures the beauty of wildlife and landscapes during his travel. So through this guidance of his aunt, Vasant Shastri, Yashwanth discovered meditation during a challenging period in his life. Today, he shares his journey of self-discovery, and let us all explore the connection between inner and outer worlds. Let's welcome Yashwanth as we embark on this journey together.
Hey, yeah, hi all. Morning. Thank you, Yamini, for the introduction. I hope my voice is clear.
Yes,
It's
yes.
been some, yeah. Hi. Okay, so morning. It's been quite some time that I actually started sharing. This morning. It's generally late evening or probably in the night. So it's quite a revealing for me. It's a new thing after a long time. So yeah, my journey, especially the meditation journey, and the general in general, the journey, how the path has started for me, was quite interesting for me. So my uh, so I'm a typical engineer. If you're born in Hyderabad, you probably know if you're a male child, you generally get an option to be an engineer. If you're a girl child, you generally decide whether it's a doctor. So it's not a choice that you generally uh, really think. Your parents have already made that decision for you that you're going to become an engineer. It's just that where you study is what the only option that you have. If you are intelligent enough, you would crack these IITs, or if you have enough funding, you would buy a seat. That's the case for me. That my dad actually got me into some engineering college because he felt that if this guy leaves us and go because I'm a single child, so he felt he has to stay here. So my in and out journey probably is in and around Hyderabad only. It's always about Hyderabad. I have never really left my home. I studied, I was born here, studied here, my college, in my school days, my college days, my in fact engineering days. So for me, unlike most of the people, I never really stepped out of my comfort zone. It's always from my home that I used to travel very nearby colleges. So it's all very easy for me in terms of that. So for me to pick up travel as a passion has only started from the urge that I had to leave Hyderabad to explore other places. I kind of got bored at one point that I got so bored that, come on, let me just step out of the city so that that's where I will figure out something. So when I started to go out, when I started to read few things about what are all the places, so that's when I found out that okay, if you can book in an offbeat places, or if you can book in an off season, you would get a lot of discounts. You would go at a much cheaper way. So that would be easy for me to convince at my home and even my friends to plan a travel hack, because if the budget is less, then we can all go. So that's how a bit of travel started, and that's how eventually I started to explore. Now, once these explorations have started, monthly or once in a quarter or something, I felt maybe these are some nice moments. This is something that we can capture. This is something that we can just showcase. Some beautiful places I've started to visit. Uh, at this point, even my parents understood that, okay, in fact, my dad had this hobby of clicking pictures from his childhood. So he just again passed it on to me, saying, okay, here is the camera. Why don't you try to click some pictures? Not really got trained, but again, it's a self-exploration. Started to learn things. And that's when I understood that I love technology, love gadgets, and that's another interest that I picked up is understanding how to use a device, how to learn by self. Because probably 10 years back, there wasn't much of this internet era where you could learn how to do things. It's all about self-exploration. And being engineered by myself, it was always a workshop for me to operate a device, learn a device. Again, that interest picked up, and I started to share to a lot of people. So that's how travel, a bit of photography, and all these things were going in a nice tandem way. Engineering was happening at one end. Uh, it's all going in a smooth way until when the engineering was literally coming to an end. I was in my four to the last sem. That's when uh, something in my phase of personal life where my mom has actually left the earth. So she suddenly expired. So that's when you can say it's a bit of a block for me at that moment, because I was the only single child, pretty pampered, and everything was so comfortable, and all my passions were in tandem. And in fact, I was supposed to live abroad. Till that, this phase was good. Only when that she passed away was an real thing has happened in my life where I was really brought back into reality. Know how to good, because I was survived by my father and I had grandparents at home. So they were in this thing, if this guy leaves to US, then we will all be alone. So that popped up, and suddenly at that young age, when you are seeing all your friends leaving the hometown and they're going abroad, you are suddenly taken back thinking "Ki, why it's happening to you, why you feel like a victim guy. Because I was never felt it because I got everything in my life till that point of time. Even before I really stretched out or asked, my parents used to provide me. I was pretty pampered in that way. I felt ki why it's happening to me at now at this stage when I really want to explore. So at that moment, my atta and my uncle, so Shastri sirs, Vasanta Shastri ma'am and Shastri Mama really helped me. They took me to the Kartal. So they met Patri sir. They made me meet Patri sir. At that young 21, 22 age, I felt ki maybe this might be. Because before that, I used to travel a lot, even with my parents also. I used to visit a lot of temples. But somehow at that moment, at that time, meditation somewhere there. The only funny thing in this thing is my school, Mother's Integral, was also into a kind of a meditation because it is related to the Pondicherry's Auroville Mother Ashram. So it's the school also belongs to that. So we used to have meditation sessions every day from the morning. So now if I look back, I always felt that maybe it is always destined within me that I have to this part of meditation is already written in my thing. So in my school, we used to have meditation, and after this incident, meditation has become a part of my life. Somehow within no time, like 1 year here and there, I juggled with the process of doing meditation. But after that, I kind of got used to it. I felt this is a very natural way that, and then this meditation journey when it started, and when this entire connection with me has opened up. So what I felt was ki maybe we're all destined to do something in this life. Because my mom was actually an entrepreneur. She came from a very small village, and when she was married, introduced to my family, everything for her was a challenge. But then she has set up her own food business line, her own catering line, and in fact, both my parents are entrepreneurs in that way. Even my dad set up his mechanical venture, his outlet, or out here in the industrial area. Everything right from scratch level, they have built by themselves. So there's a lot of motivation at the home, very positive spirited back home, where in fact all the women in my home are pretty strong in that way because they already are into one or the other way. Self entrepreneurship is always driving at home. So nobody really worked for a company or something. They were all self entrepreneurs. So that back home was like a really brewing spirit for me. So it helped me to join my dad's business. And within, maybe it's in my genes, I believe that within no time, because I'm a very shy kind of a person. Since I grew up alone, I am like a friend for myself. I just make time for myself. I play with the toys in my childhood, and or as I started to become slightly in adulthood, I started to become this geeky guy, solving puzzles, looking into the tech, maybe playing chess. It's always with myself. But then when it comes to business, and especially we are into the sales division, I had to open up. I had to really open up a big time. I had to meet people, take their time, discuss with them, provide solutions or whatnot. The sales was a complete 360-degree phenomena for me. So I'm not really used to till that time. This really was a task for me. And because my mom already had an existing business, which I had to look after, that to a food business, again, completely clueless. Uh, but then I had to open up. There were the team of 12 people at that time when she left. So I had to speak with them. And till that time, no, no preparation whatsoever. I never really prepared because I was just saying, right, I was about to leave to abroad to continue my masters. So it was quite a challenge to speak to people and do it because till that time, the moment I asked something, it was provided to me. Not that really I asked the bigger things. It's a very small PlayStation or this thing. My thoughts were also, my needs were also very limited in that way. It's not that I used to ask some big car or something, very small things. So I felt, but yeah, the need to ask was very limited. So that's when I felt this thought, the entire thought that was running in my mind at that moment was clearly to make my path. I said, fine, this is whatever has happened. Yeah, I am matured enough. I would say I am like uh, intelligent enough. At that stage, 22, I think 23 years. I felt, let me set my own path. Why should I keep thinking, "Okay, why it is happening to me? Why to play that victim card? So much of things are happening in the world. And luckily, in my quest to learn new things, uh, meditation was also there. At that moment, Bangalore Pyramid session helped me a lot. So when I went to the Pyramid Valley in Bangalore, so there I found a lot of youngsters. At this moment, even Alek and Amali also helped me a lot. They were pushing me, they were helping me out. They're saying, come, travel with us. So they took me to the Pyramid Valley. That's when I really understood that a lot of youngsters are there here. A lot of people are doing this stuff. They're all like really chilling in their life. So why do I have to be like really serious? Because I always felt that entrepreneur was such a serious thing where I have to be very focused, be this stressful guy and all. But in nature, I'm not that. I was just trying to fit into some mold that was uh, thought I existed, but I was not that guy. So I felt okay. Let me be cool. I mean, let me. I started to meditate sincerely. That's when I went out. I took time out, and then I started to meet customers, and then I started to present myself to customers. By nature, I'm a very patient guy, so that actually helped me in my sales because I used to listen to my customer needs than just project whatever I had. I don't. I never used to say, "Okay, sir, I have this. Take this." I used to rather listen to them, wait for the opportunity, and then pitch my thing. So this really helped me to be in my way, present in my way. Like that, my entrepreneur journey now is more than like 12 years. Uh, so I feel for me in this 12 years, it's a very learning journey for me. And I would say uh, this probably would be this phase was probably not planned, but really planned well by the nature and the universe. So, just a minute. So, am I audible now?
You're audible.
Okay. Uh, at my home. Okay. Right. So now, this with this entire entrepreneurship journey, along with my family and especially my dad, we started to build meditation centers. And now everything again somehow in our life uh, might sound cliche, but it's just not planned. We had this ancestral place back at Agirpalli, which is around 30 kilometers from Vijayawada. That was ancestral property. Since we reside in Hyderabad, it's a 300 kilometers drive from Hyderabad. We felt something has to be put up there so that it remains as a memory for those. This is during the starting days of meditation. So my dad got this idea that instead of setting up some other thing in the name of them, why don't we just put up a meditation center so that people would come and do it? And since Patricia's guideline was teaching has to be free, we felt that is good so that if it is free, people also will come and utilize that center. And in that way, the ancestral property and their name would be there in the village. I found it was reasonable. That idea was reasonable, and without further thought, we just agreed and we just built it. But then the challenge actually come up. Procedure that it was done, the proper center was ready. We thought once we built it, we thought people would come and meditate. As simple as it, but it never happened. For after 1 year, I think probably 2 years after construction, we're just waiting when the people will come. That's when we realized that Vijayawada had a bigger center. It's between the Vijayawada and Nuzuvidu. So Vijayawada and Nuzuvidu both had some centers and big centers, and people used to go there. So that's when the the propaganda started, where we actually felt like, no, this we have to market. This is a center we need to really market. It's something that we are used to in our business line, but now we have to put it in a spiritual line where we have to market that there is a center here. Please do come down. Then we were introduced to this concept of Shakahara rallies. And somewhere in that village, somebody wanted a vehicle to do this pracharas. So they asked for us help, and we immediately uh, provided a new vehicle. That's how the journey of spreading of meditation happened. Shakahara rally started to happen. Vegetarianism was happening, and then within no time, that center became one of the most active centers. Garkipati Meditation Center in Akepalli. We were very happy seeing people coming, utilizing, and we even recorded their journey. A lot of new masters, they started to share their insights, and they were sharing their uh, journey of meditation after starting from that particular pyramid. So it was fantastic. So it was nice, this going on. And suddenly, cut short, 3 years down the line, we realized, I think we have a place, I mean, the residence where we are staying in Ramnagar, we felt that the terrace is open. Why don't we just put it? Mm, we felt like, yeah, that is true. Why don't we put one more center at the home? You're already doing it 300 kilometers far away place. Why don't we do it at back home? And so that's when even my other Atta, my Banata helped us. My Banu auntie helped me because she used to stay with us and she was also a meditator. So in my home, literally everyone is a meditator. My grandma, my elder aunt, my younger aunt, my mamu, everybody meditates. So for us, it's just about choosing a volunteer. So we asked her and she immediately said, yes, I will help. And she stayed with us and she looks after the center back at home. These were all running, everything was fine. Patricia used to come, used to visit the centers, everything was going smooth. That's and somehow very accidentally, we had one more center back at our farmland. It's a farmland that we have taken around 10, 15 years back, and we just put it there because it's in Nalagonda area. Nalagonda typically is a drought-prone area where the water is always a shortage. So because there shortage of the water used to the old trees they used to get dried up, and eventually we felt that this farm is not fetching us any results. Maybe we should sell it off. But that's actually the real nature place that we have in enter all these things. That's the place where the farm was there, the huge farm, like 10 acres was there, and that's a place that we felt it is a gifted to us. We felt we have to do something there instead of selling it off. So that moment, again, my dad thought we built a center at our ancestral property at home. Why don't we just build a good center here? That's what we know, and maybe we can do a pracharam. We can get people out here and maybe teach meditation. And we just hope that the water comes into the groundwater, increases, and do it. So again, we built the center. The third center that we have built there, and that center name is the Jinavanam Meditation Center. It's in a village called Mamdapuram, closest to Nalgonda village. So that's when it has popped up, and it is beautifully set up. That's till now all my travel, all our building experience, and all the marketing skills really helped us to push this center to build in a complete nature. It was a project that demanded a bit of money because it has to be set up in the nature. But me and my dad decided that instead of asking out to people, why don't we put the savings, whatever we have, so that we make this beautiful center, first set it up and then do it. Then we decided it, we built that center and it has come out really beautifully. So, and we have erected a Buddha statue there. So it's a nice center that has come up, and it's in fact a very beautiful center if you ask me, because the sunsets down there are too good. People who are in the village, the city, because of the skyscrapers and all the buildings, we generally missed out on the sunrise and sunset. But in that village, trust me, it's one of the most beautiful sunsets that we have. So That has been a nature blessing for us ever since we started to build that place and we started to be in that this connection, this entire probably I would say for me the gratitude started to pour out. That's when I felt wow. I mean, who would really think that we have this huge acres of land, this 10, 10, 15 acres of land where instead of selling it off or instead of getting for money, this thought that we have got it into our brains, key, let us build a center and make it a public place, is we felt that down the line, that's it's an action plan that is being promoted by the nature. We felt it's a universe call, and we were very happy with the way the things have popped up there. And now we are slowly trying to build some amenities there. So, and there's a beautiful tamarind tree out there which has literally leaves carved out and etched out to the ground. So it has been like a tourist spot over there. Slowly people come see that and get really excited to see the tamarind tree out there. So the nature, the connections, and the way. So whenever we feel a bit stressed or whenever we feel that city life is boring, we just quickly drive around because it's around 100 kilometers, 2 hours drive from Hyderabad. And Genovanum is a place we all head to, entire family and even every one of our family got it. So like this, a lot of nature and the way that the nature calling has been for us has been truly miraculous. Every center that we have come up and everywhere we have put up a center, it's literally zero planning. And the moment we have started to build the centers, when we started to market it, people started to come down. So this journey of meditation and this journey of spreading the vegetarianism has really helped us a lot. Um, People say that this journey is to enlightenment, but before the enlightenment really hits you, I believe it is a cleansing process that happens within you, or that the truth of yourself popping up to you is really the main thing. Suddenly you understand your thoughts. For me, it's always that the flow, the chain of thoughts is always there. But when you understand your chain of thoughts, when you see that, oh, this is what I think, and this is what you are thinking internally, is when you decide that, "He- wow, this has been, this has to be worked out, and this has to put forward." So really, no judgment, no comment is one thing Patri sir has taught us, and that is something we all abide to at home. Uh, Whatever the thought that comes to our brain, we just put it out there. And that's how we were really blessed by nature to have these sort of land parcels where we could build something and then utilize the places. So this has been thus far the journey for me in terms of building meditation centers, me meditating and spreading as a family. So, anything, Yamini would like to ask anything, or is there any input?
Thank you, Yashwanth. Thanks for sharing your journey.
Yeah. Uh, any particular thing you would like to know, or is there anything? Because this is what has come up till me as a free flow. Anything that you would like to add me up here?
So can you tell about your meditation experiences?
Yeah, sure. So, okay, any particular? Yeah, so the first 1 year when I had this struggle, where we say that 40 days of the journey or 21 days of the journey, that is somehow still reminds me that when people now say that hey, it's very difficult to meditate, I just get remind of me of those days where it's actually slightly difficult when you begin this journey, isn't it? Where you sit and then the music plays and you have to just close your eyes and just observe your breath. So I understand that it's really a difficult journey, that 21 days. I mean, that's probably the phase where everybody really finds it difficult to continue. For me, it actually took more than a year or so to do it. I was introduced, as well, I was literally introduced to Patri sir only in my first meditation session. But then it really took me a year or so to actually complete the 21 days process. Now, when I think about it, I always felt, ki, why did I took so much time to just sit for 21 days at that 30 minutes of my time? I always used to feel the difficult, the beginnings. I'm like a very slow starter. That is there with me now also. I'm a very slow starter. So that slow starter suddenly kind of make is a, like a preparation ground for a much better things in the thing. So whenever now somebody when I teach and when I do it, when somebody says, okay, hey, it's difficult for me to sit. I said, okay, fine, okay, take 10 minutes maybe a day, then you probably put it into it. Yes, now I understand what they really say, how difficult it is to do those 21 days to start off. And then when I started to meditate and when I do it, so patience was always there within me. I was kind of a patient kid from the thing. But what really was not there with me is speaking up. I used to think everything within me and I used to never speak up anything. So this thing has completely, purely, I would say, a blessing of meditation because now I don't analyze my thoughts. Now I really don't put it a filter in my brain. So this thus far has been like a very learning from my meditation. I would say it's an experience for me where I don't have to really filter out anything now. Because earlier when I used to pitch things to people or share things to people, I used to really first think within myself ki whether I'm speaking correctly, whether I'm speaking in a correct flow, or whether I'm sharing in a proper way. Now I know myself thus far, and I can easily share whatever that's coming to my brain without really having any struggle. So meditation has really helped me to open up a lot. Being this single kid, as I was sharing you, since I used to play a lot with myself itself, uh, I never really had a sibling or any big connection because most of my relatives are also very far away. So I used to just sit with myself and play it. So that opened up only conversations with me. In fact, I do a lot of conversations with me. It's a very natural thing to me. In fact, my wife always looks at me like, "Whom are you talking to?" I said, "I am talking to myself." So whenever there is a meeting to prepare, or whenever there is a big client to meet, I just talk to myself first, prepare and do it. So she is always like, "Why are you talking to yourself?" Like, this is what I'm used to it. And luckily, since she is also merged with the family, she's also like helping me out in my day-to-day preparations. She understands that, okay, this guy is like this, better be prepared. Don't get any shock to see. So I have this habit of always sitting with myself and just sharing my thoughts there. So and once I meditate, I just put out everything to the client in my sales pitch, or I generally, like if this is a meeting happening there, the moment we did meditation, this flow happens very naturally to me, which was a big struggle for me in my earlier days. So this is my meditation experience that I'm something proud of to share all the time.
As you mentioned that you have met Patriji, so how was your interaction with Patri sir? Like, what did you experience at that moment?
Yeah, so when I first met, it's a slightly dull phase, isn't it? So because I was just introduced, I was just taken to the place, Kartal, and met it. But one thing that always it stuck with me is I have been to a lot of temples and other religious places. So in natural Hinduism, there is a practice that we bow down our head and touch the feet of the elders. And in fact, we even touch the people who are elder to us. Now, when I seen this activity, when I was about to meet sir, there were a few meditators who were touching their sir's feet. That's what we have seen many times. But for me, that what struck me is immediately sir bowed down and touched their feet. I was like, huh? What is this? He is a guru, isn't it? Why is he touching common man's feet? That just took me, and I immediately asked, why is it? Then they said, we are all gods. That was again a shocking. They're gods. are we all gods? That again took me. So those were like big bouncers for me. And then there's no this what do you say? What kind of I'm guru and kind of a clothes nor his presentation. Because now it's been so much time that we have been all seeing Patri sir, but if you really think down the line, he was always like this right from his days of spreading meditation. So I was completely started just by thinking, okay, it's really great. I mean, this is something that probably how the gurus might have to be because he treats everyone just like a god. That really struck me, and so that experience, that image of Sir in my head is something that I always take with me. And I had this very uh, fortunate experience of sharing backstage with Sir in Rishikesh, where there's a program right next to the Art of Living Ashramam. So, as part of the event, Mr. Ravishankar sir was supposed to come to our thing, and as kind he has come in. I think at the last moment before he was coming to the dais, Pati sir has noticed that something on the stage. I think the the sofas were not in a way that it was supposed to be. So instead of pointing us or asking us to do, he immediately went and adjusted the sofa set. I was like sir, you are like crazy. I mean, you are like a volunteer, you are like a master, you are like a teacher. You are doing this stuff. For me, that really felt key. No matter how bigger or elder or how supreme you are, when you feel you want to do something, you just have to do it. You don't have to uh, take the help of others. So immediately went, set the sofas, and Vaishankar sir has come up. And the way sir was greeting that Atiti Deva Bhava that is there with sir is truly miraculous. The way he just uh, talk to the guests, the way he teaches them, the way he looks after them has been really fantastic. I mean, I would say that I've learned so many things from sir, especially to how to greet, how heartfully you have to greet. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an acting. You have a inner thing where you can all when you understand that the other person is just like you or the other person is also a godly man, there's the true feeling that comes out is something that has really changed. In fact, it has helped me personally uh, to not to have any ill feelings about anyone. I think today's date, apart from a very odd occasion, even at the most challenging places also, I don't really use cuss words. I don't really abuse anyone now anymore. Maybe an off day here and there, but from that, this experience with Sir has really changed me a lot.
That's nice. Okay, so when I actually came across your biodata, like you mentioned, you love animals and you love nature, you love spending time in nature. So as you've also done, photography and all. So what is the one thing that you have learned from, being in nature?
Well, nature definitely is our master, isn't it? It's the one who's guiding us. So probably Corona was the time that everybody started to see it. So once, if you all stay back home, I think nature takes a nice breath and shows its real colors of without this polluted environment, without this stress, what do you call it, the extreme conditions that the humans are putting on it. I think genuinely feel it's time that people realize how how nature is a guiding thing that we are all blessed to have in our lives, where it is there helping us uh, and this entire connection to feel it. I think it's one of the liveliest thing that you can see. If I have to put it into the words, probably the most liveliest things. As the season changes, we see a thing, and I think we have just experienced as a thunderstorm just a day back because of the heavy weather, the change. If you see the summers, this summer, isn't it? It was very hot. So probably it's because of that, the nature correction, or because of this unexpected uh, heating of the soil. Only we experience such a huge shower. So I feel it keeps reminding us, it keeps correcting the due course. I think nature is something has to be taken care a lot. I think everybody speaks about it, everybody does it, but I think no matter how much our efforts we put in, we we as an individual, I think, still have to be very careful about how we do it. See, the population is going to increase. It's never going to come down. The stress that we're putting on the surface is always going to be increasing. More buildings going to come up. But now, still, how can you do it? Maybe completely avoid plastic. Maybe start to use a lot of cloth bags and reduce the consumption of one-time plastics and whatnot. I mean, every little thing that you can impart from in your lifestyle changes. Like the people were saying, try to buy less clothes so that they don't get wasted. So whatever it is, the cotton, whatnot. I think if we start to look into the way to cut down the things, the list itself is too huge. But everybody has to act in that way. Apart from the protection of the nature, what really I see is that's the one thing that nature is the one thing that actually changing keeps changing our moods, and it's one thing that it is very easy to connect with. The moment you all, whatever be the day, generally when you step out and sit in your balcony, just a cool breeze of air completely changes your mind. But that's actually the power of the nature, if you see, or a small lighting at the light show, or a thunderstorm, or even a small rain really brings out a lot of joy within yourself. Now, this if you really value and see, nature in itself is been is like a live live specimen that is there out here, and I genuinely enjoy clicking pictures of the nature. And I have this very odd habit that I just click it for myself. I genuinely don't post anywhere. I'm a very lazy guy when it comes to posting anything, because more than anything, I just love to click that moment, and I just want to enjoy that moment and put it with myself. That's it. I would probably click 10 thousands of pictures, but I think I posted one or two. That's it. So I'm a very selfish guy. I don't know what is the term for that, but I just love to click that moment, view it, and just put it with myself. That's it. I'm not this Instagram or a Facebook guy where I keep sharing a lot of things. Very rarely I do post. But apart from that, I just love to click that moment, just enjoy it, and just keep that with myself. That's it in my memory. So this is where the nature and how I gel with nature.
Okay. So could you please tell more about Jeenavanam, and are there any accommodations and food facilities? Like when we come there, can we stay for 2 to 3 days, or can we conduct workshops?
Absolutely. So now Jinavanam is on the Nagarjun Sagar Road. So it's from a place called Mal. It takes around 40 minutes to reach to Mamadapuram village. Buses and everything are pretty much there. Anybody would like who's residing nearby or would like to visit the place, uh, you have to take a bus from anywhere of the city to reach to the Nagarjun Sagar Road. A bus going to the Nagarjun Sagar Road. Probably get down at Mal. From Mal, you will get a bus or a sharing auto up to Nampalli. The moment you the reach Nampally, it is just 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers from there. So Nampally is the big village surrounding the smaller village called Mamdapuram, and there we have the Jinavanam Meditation Center. So now there is accommodation facility for sure, and for people who would like to visit, especially in the weekends, if they can inform us, we would really clean up the place and even have a big kitchen there. The facility to kitchen is also there. So currently, the thing is, people would like to meditate, especially for the full moon day and the Amavasya days. We say that currently we don't have a cook there, but you can cook. We provide all the vegetables. You can cook and stay and meditate. These are the current things. But if the session is happening, then if it is informed with a particular date, we arrange the people, we arrange the cook there, we arrange everything, and trekking can be done. There is a nice mountain to climb there. It's a small mountain that you can nicely trek there, and completely surrounded with now, I think palm oil trees have come up. And as I told you, there's a tamarind tree, and there is a pathway that will guide you. And there is a There are three cows. People who love spending time with animals. There is three cows that are there, and you can nicely spend time with them. And people who want to do a silence. The place attraction is because it is in midst of a slightly, larger mountains or the rocks, I would say, boulders, I would say. It is between those boulders, it is located where you can nicely sit in silence and observe the silence completely. So silent meditation is there. So currently what is happening is people come generally Sunday mornings and leave by evenings. That is what is happening. For a 2 day session, if it is informed in earlier, we can arrange the cook, or you can get the cook for yourself, and then a session can be planned nicely for at least 30 to 40 people. Current accommodation for 40 people, dormitories are available, beds are there. So, of course, washrooms, beds, and the kitchen, everything is well laid out. But the capacity of the kitchen to host actually more than 100 people. So, if it's a day session and if it is more than 50 or up to 100 people, you can nicely cook and do everything there. The water and everything is there. The facility is there.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
already excited to visit now. Soon, Paima will approach you regarding a program. We will let you
Oh,
know
yes.
details as well. So, is there any website or Instagram page to reach Gina?
Yes. Yes. So website is under construction. So the Instagram page is there. Gina Vanam, Jenavanam. Gina Vanam is the name in the Instagram page. So you can also tag it after this session. So Gina Vanam is the Instagram
In
page.
the chat box.
Hi, Yashwanth. So good to
Uh,
listen to your how you worked on yourself. So nice, so nice. So, how long it took for you to come from the victim nature of thoughts and then totally you're filtering into what you are. So, how long it took for you
yeah.
from the
It
victim
took me
nature?
2 years. It took me 2 years. So the first 1 year, as I said, now for me to sit into the meditation itself was becoming like a challenge because you need to sit for some days to first understand yourself. As I was just mentioning, those 21 days or the 40 days, the journey that itself took me an year to actually complete.
Right.
Thereafter, the next 1 year, when I started to visit the other meditation centers and I started to actually meet of my age group, is when I started to understand that this is possible. You can do it. You can speak about it. Because this is a very open, the practice of this meditation, the concept of this entire thing is very open. You can read books from all the other spiritual masters. You can understand your culture in a much, much better way, your religion in a much better way, what it is trying to teach you. And I generally love how you can position in terms of stages, like the first stage, blind faith, second stage, understanding, third phase is when you start to question, the fourth, fifth, sixth stages, they say, right? So is where when you expand yourself to the real understanding of the spirituality. So it took me good 2 years to come out of that zone of victimization and feeling that I was just this alone guy.
Wow, wow. Super. Have you used Patriji music? Because I love the music from Patriji. Even after meditation is completed, I dance like anything. So there is a tabla and violin. So the series of musical instruments happens from the Patriji.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that really takes to a different level after meditation is completed.
Patri sir is a great artist, yeah. I mean, so he is this connoisseur of arts, kind of a person where he just wants this amalgamation. If you have seen in the morning meditations, a lot of different instruments along with his flute and everything. It's just too good, you know. It's just too good. The music, I would say I will always meditate with Sir's music for sure because somehow I can't do it in a very silent way. I need a bit of music to start, and then yes, the meditation keeps. It will be in the front end, but yeah, I need a bit of music to start off my meditation session, and I'm a great lover of his music.
Yeah, I will come to Jinavanam. So you said the place, right? So, and you said about tamarind tree. So what is the special? Uh, the leaves are architecture like this?
But yeah, you can. I mean, I've just shared the Insta page, Geneva. You can just check it. It's much beautiful than rather than describing it. Generally, if you see the trees, generally they go towards up, right, towards the sky. That's the nature of a tree. The roots generally tend to go upwards. I don't know how this has happened here. The tree somewhere suddenly has gone down, and that not only on one direction, literally on all the directions.
Wow.
So what we did was to a small portion just for an entry sake, we made an entry in the tree as an entry at one portion. So literally all the other thing, the branches go down. So it's literally like your hair coming down. So it's like this. It's like this literally. So you
So,
can visit
uh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, so showing this, actually, Pati sir has said, hey, why don't you make a pathway to this tree here? It's such a natural thing. He said, this is during the Corona time. He said, you make a pathway to this. He has literally drew that this is the pathway that you're looking at. Like, it's very good, very good. You do it, you make it this, you put your own creativity, and we made a pathway to the tree there.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Yashwanth. Thank you so much sharing your
Thank you.
experiences. Yeah.
Do come down.
Wonderful, Yashwanth. Thank you so much for coming here. And I understand that it's been a long time that you have shared your wisdom with all of us. And it's something which I really find very happy that you accepted the request to come over and share it with all of us. And I have visited Jinavanam, my dear friends, and it's a lovely, lovely, lovely place. And especially the tamarind tree, it is such a beautiful, huge tree, and almost like 150 people can fit in there under the shade of the tree. It's so huge. And we actually did an Earth Day, if I'm not yeah, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
we celebrated Earth Day.
Trees. Yeah,
Yes.
we planted trees there, the pathway trees also there. The pathway plants there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's been a long time, and we should make sure that we must visit that place, and at least go in the morning and come back in the evening one day. Maybe
Yeah.
later you can
Yeah.
decide whether you want to go for the workshop being conducted. So it's a must visit place, and we all know it's such a small world, and we are all related to each other. So this thing, we all know about Vasanta Shastri madam. They are she is Alekhya and Amulya's mother, and Yashwanth is Vasanta Shastri madam's brother's son. So we all know about Vasanta Shastri and the Shastri family, but we seldom know about this family, who's also doing great service and great work for humanity, conducting meditation classes and doing great service. Subramanyam Garu, he's such a great enlightened master, and really hats off to the service that he's doing at this age. And we need to visit Jinavanam, my dear friends, all of us. Please make time to go. And when you type Jinavanam in Google Maps, it will show it to you. Jinavanam Pyramid Center, it will show it to you. You can just directly go there. And it's just around the outskirts. I mean, like maybe 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers, wherever you're staying from in Hyderabad. So that will be really wonderful if you can go and meditate there. And it's just pure silence, pure bliss, pure silence there. I'm sure everyone will, experience a lot over there. So I am going. I hope you're also coming to Jinavanam.
Yes, the rainy season is a nice time to really enjoy it there, as it's in a nature setup. Summer is pretty hot, but yeah, rainy season definitely it's a much worth time to visit there.
Yes. Yeah. So Jinavanam, we have actually planted trees, and a lot of people went there together to meditate in the pyramid. We had a nice session, and it's also on PMC Telugu. It's very old, but it's difficult to find right now, but it is there. I will be sharing it in the group as well. So yes, it's a wonderful session. Thank you so much Yashwanth, for making time for this and coming and sharing with your love for nature and animals.
Yeah.
And lastly, I would like to ask you if you have any message for the young generation right now.
So messaging is not really my take, Akka, but yeah, because I myself personally I have this sutra where you can always share easily, but you have to preach it for myself. So I am very consciously doing one thing is because I travel a lot and have to keep meeting people. Two things. One is carry a bag with me instead of a plastic carry bag. Other thing, water. Uh, Maximum, I tend to avoid plastic bottles. I carry a water with me and ensure that it is there in the car, it is there in my bag, and ensure that 2 to 3 are put in so that that count from myself. And this, I believe, if everybody starts to do, it would be a great service to the nature where the stress it is there. But I'm happy to share because I'm into the mechanical side. If people are really feeling guilty about using a lot of plastic, it is disposed of well. Why I'm sharing this is now the technology and the feasibility is such a way that from the used out plastic bottles, if they are recycled properly, so you have to put the cap inside the bottle. If you have to use a lot of plastic bottles, use it, but ensure that you recycle it properly. So the once you complete the bottle, put the cap inside the bottle and crush it and put it into the thing. So that bottle actually doesn't go to the dump yard anymore. It goes to the plastic industry where they make the pellets, and then now the furniture is being made out of plastic. A lot of other accessories are being made out of the plastic. But the only condition is it has to be recycled one. If you just throw it on the road, it goes to the water filling guy. That is waste. Again, that's a pollution. That's a harmful thing. But if you recycle it, if you drop the cap inside the bottle after the usage and crush the bottle and dump it into the dustbin, this is going because the plastic industry is paying to the garbage guy a certain amount. So that's why they send it back.
Yeah,
So
that's a wonderful tip.
So if somebody is using a lot of plastic, it is ensure that you recycle it in a way that so it goes back to the plastic industry and they use for other activities. So in that way, a bit of recycling is happening actually. So from my
Yes.
end, I am ensuring that first cut down the use of the plastic and then do this. These are two things that I do.
Yes. And any message for the youth in terms of spiritual living or mental health or emotional well-being or something like that, if you can share from your experience, your this thing.
So since I did a bit of time with my career or say so 12 to 13 years, now I feel that yeah, so work is always going to be there till whatever the time that you're there in this earth. Work will always be there. That is for sure. You cannot deny it. You need money in this world to survive. Agreed. But what about the other part of your life? Your body is not made for work. If you can clearly think about in that in a very standard basic level, your body is not made to work. It's not the office that is the body is made to. Body needs something more. If it is a gym, if it is a meditation, but it is about human thing. You need a human space. The volunteership, pick up the volunteership, start to do volunteer level role it anyway. That doesn't really have to connect with any of the money. Take up your time once in a week, an hour in a week, or 2 hours in a week. Start to do a volunteer role. Head to any of the ashramams. Head to any of the place where you be in touch with the nature. So what we generally do in Jinavanam is a learning for me is I started to literally touch the soil. How on a daily basis that we're actually doing it, if you think in that way. You don't touch the soil, you don't water the plants, or you don't even clean the surface. So that's what we are doing. And that's when I understood that you really have to do these things because the body is actually made for these things. They say, right, we are born from the soil and we are burned in the soil. So if you are not in touch with the soil that is there, what is the point to say that we are beings of this earth or this earth belongs to us and etc. etc. Spend some time to do these earthly things. Very little, just an hour or so. First, you have to cater yourself to this service. head to ashramam. Maybe you can cook food if you're good with making some food, or clean the utensils if you feel like it. These are the small things that actually take away your mind from this work, money, all the occupied things that are surrounding us in our daily lives. Yes, I was again in this zone where too much of work was there. I couldn't spend some time. But because I got used to do these things at Jinavanam and other places, I started to literally wash my own utensils at the back home. That was a great learning for me. So that is where I feel ki small activities on a daily level really helps to connect with what actually our body needs. So work is one thing that is always there, but you have to take time for these kind of a spiritual activities.
It's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much again, Yashwanth, for taking time out. And
Tomorrow, we'll see you with another wisdom sharing session. Thank you all.